record this and post this to YouTube. All right, so I think we are live in YouTube, and hopefully we'll have some folks joining us here in a minute. My name is Rich Groves. I am a real estate investor in the St. Louis market. I own a company called the Metro STL Homes, and I host a real estate investing, real estate investing group that meets downtown St. Louis the first Tuesday of every month at the Hooters Keener Plaza. But since COVID, we've been doing these virtual meetings via Zoom. So that's why the Hootie's House Buyers Club has been virtual. So upcoming, I gotta get this right, upcoming virtual events, we got August 11th, we'll be simulcasting with my good friend, Chris Monroe, and we'll do that at 6 p.m. Central Time. And we'll do it again on August 25th at 6 p.m. with Chris Monroe. And then right now, unless things change, we'll virtual network on September 1st, 11:30 a.m. So that's what's going on with the Hootie's House. Terrell, what's going on, sir? You're live.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can, yes, sir. Sure can.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Very busy. I'm doing good.
Hey, that's a good problem to have, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
That's awesome. So what are you out doing today?
I'm actually finna go look at the property now. Hopefully this is gonna be my first deal closed on. I just gotta make sure the grass is cut right now. So
that is awesome. So you're going to see the property for the first time?
For the first time, yes, sir.
Okay. Awesome. That's
yes,
great.
Sir.
All the numbers sound like they work?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. What market are you in again?
In St. Louis.
You're in St. Louis. Awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
That's exciting. It's always awesome. It's so awesome to hear folks getting out there, getting their first deal. And,
definitely.
Man, it's so exciting. It really is.
Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir. It feels good.
Good for you. How'd you find the deal?
Actually, joint ventured on it. Another wholesaler actually, we partnered on it. I had an investor that was definitely interested in that area. I bought the investor to him. He bought the home to me, and here we are. So
that's awesome. That's good to hear, man. It's I've done several deals with joint ventures that way. When you especially as you get going, when you develop a good name and people trust in you, it opens doors for more people to reach out to you to see if they'll work with you.
Definitely.
So that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's great.
Appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about the property. I mean, obviously you don't have to disclose the address or anything.
Right.
Up, but we'd love to hear. Heck, we'd love to hear about it so we can tell folks that might be interested. But
yeah, definitely. It's in a Delwood area. It's a 2 to 1 bedroom, single family. Pretty much. I mean, it was already kind of fixed up pretty nicely. I mean, on the outside, probably needed just a little bit of work, but honestly, it was just a sitting deal.
Wow.
They really didn't budge much on the asking price, but I mean, for the area, I mean, it's pretty nice.
Sure. And you said it's another investor that has it right now?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
Sir, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully that's a fantastic deal, and you can get. Now, are you looking to wholesale it, or are you looking to buy it as a rental or something?
No. Yeah. Wholesale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It's pretty exciting, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And once you actually get once you get that contract signed, it's even more exciting. And then once you get the buyer to sign, then it's even more exciting.
Definitely.
That's awesome, man. That is fantastic, man.
You're
heading out that way now.
Yep. On the move.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
What so you said you got a buyer lined up already too?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's lined up. So yeah, then I actually just visited another property in what was it? I was just in U City. Yeah, U City.
Okay.
And kind of work with like the Section 8 area with it. It just had those type of tenants. I know an investor that's interested in that.
Right.
So I'm kind of waiting to get her numbers. But I mean, the property, it was pretty decent too. It's going to need a nice little bit of work, and I'm still learning. Investors like to use the burst strategy, I believe is what you call it. So yeah, I believe this is definitely fit our criteria. If she doesn't, I'll still like to get on the contract because the area is pretty nice. So I feel
Sure.
like that's a steal too. So.
Oh, that's great, man. If it sounds like it's a steal, then that's a deal. If it's a steal, it's a deal.
It's a deal.
That's right. That's good to hear. That's awesome, man. Good for you.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. So that's what you've been doing. It sounds like you've been working your butt off.
Man, I hardly sleep at night.
It's only 24 hours in a day.
Yes, sir.
Why would you waste any of it sleeping? No.
Right.
No, I know what you mean, man. That's a great thing hearing folks talking about their deals or new deals, and that anxiety, not a bad anxiety, but you're like, wow, I can't wait to get at it. You're just so
right.
You can't wake up early enough in the morning. You can't stay up late enough at night.
Right.
Like, I got to get this deal done.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. I feel it.
Thank you.
Now, what type of market? Like, I know you said you talked to other investors or whatever. What other types of ways are you trying to get deals coming in?
Primarily I do drive for dollars. I'm starting to see that definitely works for me. I kind of had some help with the MLS before, and it was cool, but I kind of like driving for dollars, because you get to see it in person at that moment, and usually they're hitting deals, so they haven't hit the MLS. So that's kind of working for me. Yeah.
Good.
Signal.
Did I lose you, Terrell?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
No. What did you ask?
Okay. Yeah. So no, I said, and I think it's my part. I think my internet, my Wi-Fi here must be unstable. But I said, so you're driving for dollars, and you see a property that might be one you want to target. What do you do next? So you say, okay, identify this one, this right here, 100 Main Street or whatever. I want to target this one. What's your next steps? What have you been doing?
So after that, I look it up on. I almost said Zoom. Look it up on Zillow.
Okay.
And, see who if it's for sale by owner or a certain agent.
Yep.
I speak to them, get a nice idea, get all the comps on the property, get as much as I can. Sometimes I try to get an idea of the property ahead of time, so I kind of know where to go with my numbers. Okay. Lucky enough, the wholesaler I'm working with now, he kind of helps me out with that with a prop stream. Okay. So I'm gonna go up to him for a little minute and get his idea of it and get the numbers, and then I'll call them with already an idea of a price that I want to work with, and then kind of just go from there. So
that's great. Yeah. That's awesome. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, I didn't know if you were what you were doing to look up who the owner is. If you were using prop streams, are fantastic because you can always just call that the guy you're working with and say, hey, here's the property. Look it up real quick. Let's see who it is.
Yeah.
Do you do any type of skip tracing? So let's say you pull up to a house or you drive by, you see a house and it's not listed. On Zillow, it's just not for sale or whatever.
Right.
So you have them pull it up on PropStream. Are you doing any how are you getting the contact information to reach out to the owner?
Lately, I've been lucky enough. All the numbers have been on Zillow. So
okay.
I haven't came across it yet, but I've heard of skip tracing. Yeah. I'm not too familiar with that yet, but I know that time will eventually come. I'm soon.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's gonna happen soon.
Absolutely. So when you're driving neighborhoods, are you looking for sale by owners or things that are listed with agents? So you're actually looking for those signs?
Yeah, sometimes I do, and then most likely, if it's just seriously distressed property, I just lock it in. I look at the address, check my location where I'm at. I write it down, and then once I get back home, boom, I search and I look for it, and I'm pretty much good to go from there. But,
heck yeah, man! Heck yeah, that's the way to do it right there.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I know. I use a tool called RealFlow, which is similar to PropStream, and same thing. I mean, I also use there's a mobile app that you can get called Land Glide, and you can either buy it monthly or yearly. So as I'm driving around, if I see a property, if it's there's street parking that I can pull over to or whatever, I'll pull up Land Glide, and it GPS locates where I'm at, and then I can just tap the little, and it actually has all the parcels broken out. I can tap on the parcel and see, okay, to match up with the address. Yeah, that says 1320, this says 1320. And then it pulls up the county record and says right there who's the owner, what their mailing address is, square feet, when was it built, all the stuff you would see on the county assessor site. So
Right.
then if I wanted to, I could use my skip tracing tool and do a skip trace right there and call them or text them or whatever I want to do. But
Right.
yeah, but that's like you said, that's coming down the line.
Oh yeah.
Little steps, man. You don't have to hit. And a lot of people, they're like, I can't get into real estate investing because I'm not loaded. Well, that's kind of the reason you get into real estate investing, right?
Right.
Is to make money. A lot of people get into it. They're broke or they're just over broke, and they
Right.
just want to get into it. How do I get into it as cheaply as possible? And there's ways to do that. And then once you get deals coming in, now you can start investing that money into systems. And that's when you get sustainability.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely where I'm at with it. So once I hopefully close this deal, I'm investing it right back into myself to pay for
That's great, man. That is fantastic.
So, yeah.
That is fantastic. I just gotta let's see here. Nope, that's all right. I got pardon me 1 second. I got another
okay.
another investor that would like the link. So let me do that here real quick. I apologize.
Awesome.
Let's see. Pardon me, everybody. In the meantime, maybe you can from this way. Got the upcoming Hootie's House Buyers Club meetings coming on here, and we got several coming up. We do every other Tuesday. We do a simulcast with Chris Monroe, the Chris Monroe Show.
Okay.
And so the next one will be actually next Tuesday. And let me just tell this person here. Pardon me, folks. All right. So we do have the simulcast with Chris Monroe, August 6th at 6 p.m. We got August 25th, 6 p.m. with Chris as well. And then September 1st, right now, we don't quite know if we're going to still have to be virtual or if we can start having meetings. I'm going to guess it's probably going to be virtual, but I don't know. So those are the next 3 dates that you can see my ugly mug and simulcast and virtual network with me and Chris Monroe too. Terrell, Chris Monroe? You still there? Nope, I think we lost him. That's all right. That was all right. That was a great conversation. So Terrell is on his way. If you didn't hear it, Terrell's on his way to see a property that he is joint venturing with another wholesaler, and he's excited. This is going to be his first deal. And here's Laura coming in now too. But so he's super excited about that deal, and I wish him luck. That's you can't wish people enough luck that are, especially when they're new investors, to get out there and get that deal done, to get that monkey off their back, the weight off their shoulders. Hey, Laura, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
All right, here I am. I'm gonna adjust my screen and my camera, but I'm here.
Right. Awesome. You're not in your car today. What's up with that?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to be home for a day right now. So I will probably be in the car by the end of it. I do have a 2 p.m.
Okay. Cool.
viewing of a property.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Waiting for those calls to come rolling in, aren't we?
Yeah, they'll come.
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Yes, they will. I sent out, actually, it was funny. I just over the mid last week, I sent some out for a list of mine, and I did yellow letters. I was like, I've been saying I'm going to get back onto yellow letters and try it. The little invitation envelopes, yellow letters, and I taped. I think I mentioned on another call, I taped 2 pennies to the letter and mailed out a bunch of them. I got the first call I got back from them. I was excited. It was like the next day. I was like, holy cow! I got somebody calling me back already, and they were just calling to ask what was up with the 2 cents. what was up with the 2 pennies that were taped to this? Take me off your list. We're not selling, but I was just curious. Why are there 2 pennies on here? And I had to explain to her. Well, honestly, it was trying to get you to open the letter, and it worked.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a good sign. It might not be a lead, but it's a really good sign that people will be opening them and very curious and looking. They're going to take action.
Right.
So when that gets to the motivated buyer, they're also going to take action. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I'm hoping that's not just the anomaly. Hopefully that's the rule.
It's just someone quarantining with extra time on their hands.
True. Very true. Pardon me. So how's your week been so far? Tuesday, midday already.
I know. It feels like almost Friday. It's been good. It's just been a normal week, ups and downs.
Yeah.
But lots of ups too. So it's been
Good.
an interesting week.
Good. Did you have a good week last? Oh, you were on vacation, weren't you?
Just for the 4 days, we were 4.5 days over a weekend. That was so freaking fun. I worked. We drive, so I worked in the car, and that was a lot of fun and easy to do. And I really love being mobile. It makes me want to do more virtual wholesaling. But because I was still working on deals I had seen with my own eyes out of my own market, but it's just it's a good feeling. But the deal I worked on that whole time, I was doing a really creative deal. It was, towards the edges of what I've done before. So I was spending a lot of time on it, making sure I had things straight. Everybody was on the same page. It was just invigorating. It's so fun to work on because I know I'm getting better and
awesome.
Doing deals that wouldn't have gotten done before. And then we did the walkthrough. When I got back, it all fell apart.
Oh no, what happened?
That's what I mean by ups and downs. Well, the sellers, I've been working with them before, and everything, we've done like 3 deals already, and they just neglected to inform us that these renters were grossly behind.
Oh.
We found out at the walkthrough, and it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Because they're stressed, and they were trying to get over, and anyway.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but it is what it is. So.
Yeah, I had a couple deals come across that I was interested in, possibly even buying them for myself as rentals, and because they were already occupied, and the numbers weren't the best, but they were decent. They were decent little numbers, and finally started talking. Where's a rent roll? Is what's going on? And they're like, nope, they don't have a rent roll. It started leaking out a little more and more. It's like, why don't you just tell up front? These tenants are not good tenants. You're going to need to evict the tenants and do some light rehab and get new tenants in. But they weren't forthcoming with that. So I was like, you know what? I am not messing with this.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, at the end of the day, what my buyer's just locked and loaded, ready, and at the end I was just apologizing. I've sold them several deals. I'm like, I didn't ask, but I've done deals with these sellers before with similar situations, and it came out. I mean, I didn't discover it. They told me. And I've done deals since where we don't have issues. So I was like, I didn't ask, assuming that they know what to tell me.
Right.
I just a lesson learned for me, always ask the obvious, but I'm like, and he's like, honestly though, at least they did say it when we straight up asked, because then that would have been, we were operating under these assumptions, and it could have gone a lot worse had we gotten a closing and all that. So, which was very true. So anyway, I still put this in the category of, we'll probably still make money on it in the future, because
there you go.
And also I gave the sellers a lot of grace when I really just wanted to pop my top. I just focused on my breathing. And didn't make they clearly knew that it wasn't okay, because they were apologizing later, more. And I'm just like, it's okay, but it's not okay, but it's okay. Like, people are flawed, so I think that helped, and I think we'll get it all figured out.
Yeah.
We'll probably sell it vacant for a lower price is probably what'll happen, but I'll make money later, and I'm not wasting time anymore on it.
Right. So, on to the next thing. On to the next big thing.
What you got going on?
Just trying a few different direct mail strategies. I'm trying like I mentioned, the yellow letter campaign. I'm sending out through RealFlow, sending out some the pre-designed postcards that they have or whatever, trying that, which, funny lesson learned story, even experienced people like us still make mistakes, right? But I uploaded the wrong list and hit complete, and they even have a thing that says, are you sure here, whatever, and I'm like, yep, hit it. and overnight I got to thinking, man, I think I sent the old version of the list, not the new updated version. So I pulled it up, sure enough, completely wrong list. And it was already printed. They already printed and started sending the next day. They were like, it's already printed and it's going to be going out. I was like, dang it. So I got them to at least cancel the rest of the hits. And now just, just uploading the new ones and getting those out today.
Yeah.
But
I've luckily, I don't think I've done that with mailers.
Yeah.
I've done it with text blasts.
Oh.
Where, and I don't know, I mean, there might be a better way to do it. I'm really motivated to get my marketing more automated because number one, human error on my part. Because like sometimes when I'm doing that, I'm not always focused on it because I'm getting emails about other deals or whatever. And I'm distracted.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and I'm probably just not the best at it. So anyway, but I did it. I didn't want it like if I have 3 phone numbers for one property, I don't want to text all 3 at once. I don't know. I have a reason. I don't know if it's a good enough reason. I just do like column 1 and then I go through those replies. I guess because let's pretend one of the 3 numbers is good. I'm spending money on 2 that are bad and pissing people off, which brings down my mood and all that because you got to deal with that. So I'm just like, let's just do 1 column at a time.
Sure.
So anyway, I text 1 and then like 24 to 48 hours, I just text the next one. Okay. Well, then I texted and I mean like, and the first column you really are getting the leave me alones or you're having the nice people tell you to nicely take them on. And I'm doing all that and I think I'm cleaning it up and all that. And then I go and I pull up the old spreadsheet and I retext the same people. And I got so many people being like, why are you doing? And I'm like, I'm sorry. So God, it's just.
Yep. I understand. Can I ask you what service are you using for your text blasts?
Text Magic.
Text Magic. Okay.
Yeah. But
is it what's your experience been?
Good for the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like the price.
Okay.
But I have some experience working with people who work with Lead Sherpa.
Okay.
And that's much more expensive.
Right.
But I think it would work much better. And also I watch Chris Monroe do his deal. What's he use? Like whatever that integrated thing he's got going on.
Yeah.
If it's as integrated as it looks, I want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I say, well, I don't want to do any of it. So trying to figure out, in fact, that's I just took a call with like a marketing company on Saturday. It's, it's going to be an investment. So I'm not like pulling the trigger right away and I need to vet them. But I really want my phone just simply effing ringing without too much. I'll do the decision making, I'll pay the money, but I don't really want to be sitting at my desk pushing it out too much. Just again, I make mistakes or I save costs, so it's not the best system, whatever. I'd rather just sort of give somebody a chunk of money because I know I can convert the deals.
Yep.
That used to be my big holdup before was if I pay for really good marketing, can I actually make this pay off? Now I believe I totally can. So I really need to step it up.
Sure. No, I was just curious because that drop system I was telling you about, the ringless voicemail I use. Yeah. They just integrated some texting too. So I got a call set up with him. He said he could talk to me tomorrow morning about it. So
cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna find out if it's the same low price. I'm gonna jump all over it, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah.
If anybody's interested in that, let me know. Send me a message. I'll get you the information. It's dropped.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. I worked on trying to figure out affiliate stuff for Text Magic. I never could pin it down, and I quit spending time on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did try a couple different times, and either I wasn't understanding it or it wasn't allowing us to do what we do. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang. That sucks.
Yeah, go for it. That's awesome.
Try. And the one Chris was telling about his ringless voicemail, he said they can call landline too.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I did say that more than once.
I know Drop does just cell, just text, or just leaves ringless voicemail for mobiles. But that would be huge advantage to be able to do it there.
How do you like receiving ringless voicemails when you get them?
I've got them. I don't know if I've told you the story. I've owned my personal cell phone number since it was created. I used to work for AT&T Wireless when it first launched in St. Louis in '97. So those back in those days, the carriers got batches of numbers. They bought batches of numbers. So that was just that carrier. Because remember, you'd have to, if you change carriers, you had to change your number before they had the reporting and stuff. So those numbers were strictly for AT&T, and that group of numbers were just for the employees. So I've had my number for 23 years now, going on 23 years. The only person who's ever owned that number. And I've been lately, like the last 6 months, I keep getting calls for Van or texts for some guy named Van. And I'm like, it bugs me because I'll get a ringless voicemail because obviously it'll pop up and I'm like, what the heck? And I look to see what the voice, because now, mobile phones, most of us, right? I guess, I don't know if all carriers do, but I would assume have where you can at least the visual voicemail where you can click on your voicemail and at least read what it's saying the voicemail's about. So if as soon as I see the word name Van on it, I'm like, well, that wasn't for me.
Yeah. Well, I get like ringless voicemail drops for like RIA organizations, reminding me about meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. I love it actually. Okay. once I kind of figured out how it worked and what it was, and why do I have a message and no ring? That's so weird. I used to be like that. But now I love it because I'm like, hey, my phone didn't ring and I didn't spend time figuring out because usually, you're in the middle of something.
Right.
And it's kind of frustrating. You think maybe it's a motivated seller and you get off a call or you get distracted, you take it and you're like,
Robo-blast.
it was just a recording of a RIA person promoting, which I have no problem with. But now that I'm privy to it, I'm like, oh, ringless voicemail. This is probably for, and then I'm actually happy to go in and figure out what it's for. So.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe I need to start doing that. Using.
Oh yeah. John Lee does it.
Remember Hootie's?
Yeah, John Lee does it. And I mean, I guarantee you, it has gotten me to meetings that I would have otherwise forgotten about. Not 100% of the time.
Which one does John run?
Well, I mean, it's got like a board, but the St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Okay. It's just the most generic name of all of them. Yeah.
Who? Yeah, it's got a. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I think Brian Schroeder sends them out for Faster House too.
Does he?
Is that his name? And then Brian?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, Brian Schroeder, whatever. Yeah, Schroeder probably.
Yeah, I think I've gotten them from Nick Bauer before.
Oh, okay.
I think not lately, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've been getting the emails from them. I guess, what are they doing? Do you know? Are they still having meetings or?
I haven't been forever.
Yeah, me either.
Last I've seen, it's the same type of stuff as far as I can tell, but I haven't been forever.
They were after, a few of those folks were doing the happy hour thing. I saw that they were trying to do something like that and they were going to do that, but I only went to the one and saw the one. I never saw any follow-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
I like those settings. I do. I mean, I do, where it's just mingling. And if you got a back room that, are just real estate investors and you can just mingle but obviously with COVID, can't do that. I'm sure. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I know there's some out there. Yeah. How many folks were at that Faster House one? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's like a big room and
everybody's spread out.
2 to 3. And maybe I'm really a bad guesser. 200.
Okay. Oh, I was just curious.
But I mean, huge. Not everybody was 6 feet apart. And in fact, a bunch of us were standing off to the side because you couldn't find a seat with enough space, So it just felt like there was there's no way you couldn't be in there without finding your own space. You could find your own space.
Okay.
But there were a lot of people who didn't care about finding their own space and they'd sit next to other people. Not everybody, I'm sure not everybody knew everybody that was sitting next to somebody because there were a lot of people sitting.
Wow.
But it's not like you couldn't, a lot of masks, a lot of no masks. They had masks at the door and sanitizer when you got there.
Okay.
It's just a huge, I think I said this to you even, I just equated it to like kind of going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
People, some are, some aren't. And if you are, there's space to get around it. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was just curious. I hadn't heard that they were having live ones and in-person ones again. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So dang, I did a lot of marketing this time and it looks like we have nobody on except you and I.
Well, I mean,
that's fine.
It's cool, but I wonder why, because normally you have a good crowd.
Right. Even when I only send out one 2 days before, I get 10 people. But if I do it all week long, I get nobody. No.
I don't know. Huh.
We had Terrell Collins.
Yeah.
He just joined a little bit ago. He was actually the first one on. and he was on his way out to see his put his first deal under contract. He's working with another wholesaler, he said, so he's JVing with them.
Uh-huh.
The buyer lined up already. One of his buyers are interested in it, so he's JVing with another investor. And he dropped off maybe a minute or maybe 2 minutes before you joined on. It was right when you sent me the text asking me for the invite. As I said, hey, hold on a second, and I'm kind of like talking about what we got coming up as I'm texting you or emailing you. And then I looked up and I'm like, all right, I sent the email and he was gone. I was like, well, dang, all right. But he just messaged me saying that he needed to get back in because he couldn't join back in. So, yeah, I don't know why.
Well, you got more than 2 people, Rich.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 2.5
What's going
people.
on there, pup? What's his name again?
It's Jasmine.
Jasmine, that's right. Yeah, Jasmine. What's up, Jasmine?
Say nothing. I'm just, I don't know. Just look at God. She's so freaking cute.
Yeah, she is. She is. She's a little cutie.
Oh God, it's so cute. No wonder you never get in trouble.
No kidding. We got a little black. It's like a Shih Tzu, another thing mixed rescue dog that she's just adorable. I mean, she even when she does something she knows she's not supposed to do. That looking up at you like.
Yeah, I'm like I don't want to say it's just like I can't even. I holler at her, but there's nothing behind it. And Jasmine knows. She's like, Mom, you're not mad.
Oh.
Like I know you're not mad, and I'm just like, Jasmine, no. And sometimes I'll yell,
Yeah.
She just looks at me like, I don't believe you, and I'm like, you're right.
Oh, that's too funny. Let me. It looks like Chris Monroe just said the Zoom link never came out. I thought I sent it out.
I never got like a text this time or anything.
Maybe not. Let's. Let me see here. Let me put this out in the group. See, hopefully this will keep us from. Hopefully this will keep us from getting bombarded by some kind of hacker. It's not.
You do your thing because I got a couple messages to respond.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean,
I'm here, but I'm not here for a minute.
all righty. Hopefully that's gonna work. All right. Hopefully that works. Did that email I sent you got you in okay?
Yeah, and also one thing I did was I went to the Hootie's house Facebook page thinking the link might, but I know you're trying to balance ease with keeping people out, but it wasn't on there. And then
right. Okay.
I just, and everyone is doing the Zooms a little different. It feels like you're getting the link in a little different way. And I haven't kept track of it all. And I usually just end up texting the person like I did you.
Oh, yeah, no, not a problem.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I've been toying around with kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say I am necessarily, but I've been thinking about having like on the Hootie's page, I think they've got you can set up like a files module or whatever you call it, where I was thinking of possibly doing like sponsorships and doing like some of these folks will have like their group sponsors and they'll post like the links, contact information and stuff. Been thinking about doing something like that so that it add maybe even more value. I don't know if somebody's like, well, here's my ringless, here's the ringless voicemail service we offer, or here's the mass texting, or just hey, I'm a roofer, I'm a guy who does siding, I'm an electrician, I'm somebody who paints, whatever. Maybe building a list like I think SSIC has one like that. When they got the contractor list and stuff. Been thinking about that. I had a couple folks reach out to me and say, hey, do you offer sponsorships for your group? I'm like, man, it's kind of hard it's kind of hard to say, no, don't give me money just to post your information somewhere.
Right. Yeah. No, I would do it. I mean, I think usually the idea behind the other RIAs is the sponsors or vendors are people they do business with and they know firsthand,
Right.
you know, kind of how they work and stuff. But I mean, if you can vet them either through your own stuff or just through other people that you trust.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. It really is valuable because people are looking for stuff and people are looking for promotion to the right crowd. So
Sure.
be a conduit, you know, for sure.
Yeah, I should look into it and see. Yeah, because that would be the whole thing. I wouldn't want to just say, okay, Jimmy Shady guy here. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, give me $50 and I'll put you on the site. No, I definitely want to make sure they're vetted. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully folks are going to get in here. I got a few other folks asked about the link, so hopefully people take action. We'll see. Maybe let me try it this way. Let's see here. Sorry about this, Laura.
You're fine. I'm just looking at emails. I recently added a team member for closing coordination.
Awesome.
So she's working one for me, and it's just like makes me so happy.
That's awesome.
Like, awesome. I'm so excited. One less. Now I actually love doing that part of the business though, so it's kind of hard for me to let go. But I've been seeing how time consuming it is, and it's like that foot on the gas, off the gas. It's creating that effect for me. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta automate, like, or not automate, but you know, delegate.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I sent out the mass email. Did you happen to get do you know if you got the email from?
I don't remember getting it. That doesn't mean I didn't get it.
No,
I don't remember getting one though. Here's what I remember seeing for this one. I remember you posting it on different Facebook pages.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't like far enough up on my notifications where I could easily find one.
Sure. No, that makes,
yeah.
that's good. That's good feedback because it also may mean that I had a campaign. I thought I sent it out August 4th Hooties, but yes, it said it sent it out and there was a 21% open. Only 4% clicked on it, but it was sent, it was sent yesterday in the morning, but that's all right.
Yeah.
It's again, I gotta figure out a way to try to get it. I think I'm just gonna start posting it out on the group site. Like here's the invite link. It's still required a password or something like that, or registration or something, but so you don't have to wait for an email. Yeah. I'm gonna switch
lots
up.
of times when I get the emails, I don't know if I'm available yet. I don't know. I guess it's no big deal if I register and don't go, I guess.
Yeah.
But I should probably just start registering. That way I get the reminder emails.
Okay.
Because lots of times I'm just like, yeah, I'll definitely do it if I'm not, busy.
Right. True. And that may be my push is, hey, register even if you don't know you're going to make it. It doesn't cost me anything to have 5,000 registrants.
Right. Yeah. I know that's, yeah.
It doesn't cost them anything to register. It's not like we're going to charge them $1 because they didn't make it.
You could even word it like register to attend or to receive reminders.
That's a great
because you will be getting the reminders.
That's right. I'm going to jot that down here. Register to attend or receive reminders. That's awesome. Man, I'm always getting value.
Love it.
That's great. That's awesome. So what are you working like on office stuff today? You said you got 2 o'clock, sorry.
Yeah, I do have a 2 o'clock.
I'm just curious.
Yep. And then, but yeah, otherwise I'm kind of behind on a few leads.
Yeah.
So
everybody gets that way.
Yeah.
Everybody gets that way, but I know you'll be caught up at the end of the day, I'm sure. Oh man.
We'll see.
So did I couldn't remember if I told this on the if you were on the last the simulcast Chris and I did last time. No, because how'd that the one you were on, how'd that go?
Well, I think it went really well. I mean, of course I was the presenter and I love to talk, so couldn't really go wrong for me.
Nope.
I think other people enjoyed it for the most part. And then just like a nugget came out of it that I ran with. and
Okay.
it's gonna be, it's basically this closing person.
Okay.
So, you know, you think it's just a really great reminder that when you do that kind of stuff, you know, obviously I'm not trying to get paid cash for doing something like that,
Right.
but it just pays, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And just by putting value out there and just having conversations, you just never know where they're going to lead you. So
True.
it's just something offhanded I said that was in reference to the subject matter. And then somebody piped up and said, oh, I might have a solution for you on that. And I was like, oh, and then here we are. It's like been like I guess maybe 2 weeks later, and I'm literally using it in my business today and
Oh,
giddy
really?
about it.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's something I've been thinking about for, you know, definitely months, maybe a couple years off and on. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was just good. I've always been like worried about putting myself out there like that.
Right.
I guess I'm always like, I'm not that good. I'm not that successful, you know, whatever. But I've been really working on doing things that make me uncomfortable because, you know, that's where growth is, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I've been asked to do stuff more than once and I've said no. And this girl asked me and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, reluctantly, selfishly, and then it all went really well. So I'm really glad. You know, it's a perfect example of why you should do stuff like that. So
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
And I actually had, you know, I'm a complete believer in that too. I think that by adding value, I think we both subscribe to the Gary V, you know, school of thought, where you add value, add value, add value. You got to add value before you ever ask anything from anybody. But I think adding value, you set yourself up to receive without asking, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
It pays off.
Definitely.
It pays off. I like just, you know, I mean, this whole thing that I set up was really just an excuse to go hang out with some real estate people, talk about real estate, have some lunch at a fun little place, and you know, no big deal. But you know, I've gotten deals from this, from people that have come to the meetings and said, hey, would you work with me? I think hopefully I've connected people to work together, and I've even had 2 people literally this week reach out to me and say, hey, somebody referred me to you. You'd be a good person to work with. Would you, you know, not necessarily mentor me, but would you, you know, walk me, hold my hand, or walk me through a deal? You know, I don't have any kind of, and I, you know, I'm not pushing off any kind of mentorship program. I don't have a mentorship program. Honestly, I don't have time to set up a mentorship program. Maybe someday, but right now, no. But what I have done in the past is like, look, I'll walk you through stuff, and I'll basically, essentially, it's like a guided JV. I'll walk through your first 3 deals, and we'll JV them together, and you'll learn how it's done. And by the end of the 3rd one, you'll probably be ready to do it on your own. And if not, we'll do them individually here and there. And when you feel like it, reach back out to me. Hopefully they appreciate, you know, working and with me and whatever value I was able to give them. But yeah, I think there's so much to adding value before you ask for anything.
Yeah. And also like just, and I think too, like making sure you value yourself and you value your time and you value what you do. It just gives other people permission to value themselves as well, which also adds value.
True.
So yeah, I mean, I just think as long as you're doing stuff with a positive vibe, being helpful, not stepping on anybody, that's the most important thing, you know.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
Very true. Looks like Terrell just joined us again. How's it going, Terrell? Are you out there? You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
There you are. Yes, sir.
Hey.
I thought, honestly, earlier I thought you got to the house and you needed to go in and see it, so you just hung up on me.
No, I literally lost all signal. I'm finally parked and everything, so.
Oh, good. We got Laura Lennington on the call with us as well on the video.
How you doing, Laura?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good deal.
Did you say you actually got to go see it yet?
Yeah, I did. It looks perfect.
It looks just like you thought? All right, awesome.
Yes, sir.
So this is the gentleman I was telling you about, Laura, that was on his way to do his first deal and, you know, see the house for his first deal, and he's another wholesaler, and hopefully it's going to be a kick butt win.
Yeah. I hope so, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, you're not on video, man. Why don't you turn on your video and join us? Then you'll be on
the
the
video.
YouTube.
Isn't on? Okay,
No.
I'm kind of behind on this technology.
That's all right, man.
Can you see
There
me?
you are. There he
Okay,
is.
there we go.
There's that smiling face. All right.
How you guys doing?
Hey, good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing
Good.
good.
You're doing a lot better now that the house was as advertised.
Yeah, I can say that much.
That's honestly right, Laura. That's one of the things somebody will tell you. Oh, yeah, it only needs $4,000 in work, and you get in there and it's 25,000 or 24.
Yeah, it's a pleasant surprise when you don't have any surprises. I was just talking about one where I got to the walkthrough. Everything was set up on paper.
Right.
Because we've done deals with these same people multiple times. And we got there and we found a humongous surprise.
Oh, man.
And it's like, you just got to shake your head. you didn't mention that,
Yeah.
And they're like, they can't look you in the eye. They're like, well, it's just like, come on. Yeah, that's half the battle. Good deal.
Oh yeah. I'm lucky on that one.
And in the future, when it doesn't work out well, it's just renegotiating. It's all that good stuff. It still gets done half the time. So
you never wad those up and throw them in the trash. You just put them in a different file slot.
There we go.
Slot.
Definitely.
You never know.
Yeah.
How long, Laura, would you say what was the longest span of time between, like, say, your initial contact and actually getting a deal done?
I know I've done 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot of deals this year that I worked on last spring.
Okay.
So I mean, I've closed several in July.
Wow.
I mean, I'm talking like maybe 3 or 4 that, I had in a file, so to speak, since March 2019.
Okay.
So,
congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, don't throw anything away unless they literally tell you, unless you see that it's sold, or they tell you, go the F away. So even if as long as they're not mad or they haven't sold, I'll just sort of say, hey, is it okay if I just check in with you like in 6 months just to see if anything's changed? Okay. And they usually say, like, you can check in, but nothing's going to change. So you just check in, and then you never know. So
you never know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I make a lot of money off old leads. I always get new wholesalers coming to me with, and like, if it's something we really go down the road with and look at it and make an offer, and that I'll track it, and I'll go back and I'll say, hey, can you follow up with the seller for so and so? And they'll be like, it's not a deal, and the last they told me was no. I'm like, I make so much money off of these things 8 months later, 12 months later, and it's just like hard to convince people until they see it for themselves, I'm like, trust me, 6 years, I've seen it for myself. Leave money on the table if you don't go back. So
that's awesome.
What's the saying? Awesome. Fortune's in the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
True. It really is.
I've heard that before too. Yeah.
It's so true, man. It really is.
There are times when, like, sometimes I let off the gas pedal on marketing too much, and then all my deals have closed, and I'm like, oh, like, and so what I've learned to do, because I do have a pipeline from doing this for a while, I have a CRM, like I use Podio, and I'll have all these out-of-date tasks in Podio follow-ups, and I will just sit there and I'll look at the screen and I'll say, there's money right there. Gotcha. So I don't know where, in one of those, start calling, and I'll just make myself start following up, even though everyone I pull up, I'm like, they said no, they said no, they said no. And I just call and I call and I call until I get to it. And there's always something. There's always something there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I literally just closed a deal last week that was, or I guess it was a week ago, that literally I had under contract one time actually, and the buyer didn't, it was asking too much. I even told him I think it was too much, but I would try to see if I could get it moved, and we couldn't. And it was about a year ago. It was over a year ago. And he just reached back out to me and said, hey, my situation's changed. My prices dropped, and he had done some improvements to the house. So he added value of sweat equity, and he dropped his price.
Right.
And we got that thing sold in 3 days.
That's awesome. Man.
So it was awesome. And it was one of the ones that eventually I probably would have followed up, because I went through my file and there was my sheet and the contracts that I put with it once.
That's
I got
awesome.
But so there's truth to be said about that, man. So even no matter what,
learn something every day.
yeah, absolutely, bud. So tell us a little bit about you, Terrell. Is it Terrell or Terrell? I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it wrong.
Terrell. It's Terrell. Yeah. So a little bit about me. I played football my whole life. I'm blessed enough, to have played a long time. I actually turned down the NFL dream, because people, they say it's crazy, but could have went to the Colts and everything. They actually traded up 7th round, but I would have been undrafted most likely. But for me, it's more so I'm kind of tired of that life I'm in away from my family. It takes a lot, it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and for me, I just always had my eyes on real estate. With or without the NFL, I was going to get my hands on real estate somehow, some way.
Okay.
And, definitely without the capital, being straight out of college, it limits you a lot to a certain extent, I should say. But, I got my degree in sociology from the University of Arkansas. My previous season, I finished off actually at Texas A&M, Commerce University. And, things went pretty good there. I was just pretty much playing ball there, just taking classes. I already got my degree. Didn't want to get my master's. I was kind of done with school at that point. But, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's good, man. That's awesome to hear. And you're like born and bred in St. Louis, like you raised here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome, man.
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Awesome. So now it's like, let's improve the communities one door at a time, one house at a time, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Day by day.
What I love about your background with like sports and football is like you're gonna have that won't quit attitude.
Yeah.
Like what it feels like and what it takes to leave everything on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in this business, that's what it feels like you got to do occasionally, especially when you're figuring it all out.
Yes, ma'am.
So totally bring that with you, because you've got that strength of mind. I know strength of body, of course, but to get that, you have to have strength of mind, and you've got it. So
Thank you.
You'll kill it, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just be you. Like I can already see who you are through this camera, man. You got it. You can talk to people, make them feel good. That's all. That's half the battle right there too. So
building relationships.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
You're marketing yourself and building relationships.
Yes, sir.
It is, bud. And solving problems, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much positive in this business that way more outweighs the people that are so negative about it, right? Like, oh, you're stealing people's houses, you're ripping people off, you're whatever. No, not at all. We're solving problems, we're helping people, and just letting people achieve peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know how many people I've talked to, and I know Laura's talked to, that they're dealing with loss in their family, and they've got this big burden on their shoulder that this is mom's house, and I just can't deal with it. I can't fix it up and sell it or whatever. I mean, man, there's so many times people said thank you. I had a person told me one time, and again, not patting myself on the shoulder, this is a true story. Just I feel it's so impactful, this business. I had somebody literally say they think I saved their daughter's life, by moving, like their daughter was at the end of the rope.
Right.
And so I mean, literally, and that's the first time I've ever said that publicly.
Wow.
But it's probably the most impactful thing I've ever heard anybody say. But it cements in your mind, even when and I know even when you're doing things right, even when you're doing things the right way, when somebody recognizes that or somebody sees that and they acknowledge it, it just it solidifies your fortitude. And
no doubt,
man. That makes you say, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah, I always like what I've really learned about people is, when people have houses that are like the houses we're helping them with, the house is usually a reflection of something that's just not going right in their life. Right. So whenever they're dealing with that, they're dealing with whatever made it that way. Like I looked at one 2 days ago, their son had lived there and just treated it like crap. Well, now they've got this house that lost all this value and all that. But here's the real thing. It's like their son let them down. Yeah. And every time they go in the house, they're reminded that their son let them down and they love him. And they're, I'm sure they're just conflicted about it. Right.
Right. And
so I think the thing that they need more than anything is to just not have that constant reminder, just have it out of their life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's just beautiful to be able to help people with that. And sometimes people will be very grouchy with you as a wholesaler. Yeah. And you just got to remember, it's not you. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that they're dealing with this very stressful event in their life. I've had people that have been very not horrible to me, but I really feel like during the deal, I'm like, ooh, they don't like me. They think I don't know, they think I'm shifty or shady when things aren't working out or whatever. But then I'm telling you, like Rich said, at closing, you are their best friend because the weight is lifting.
Right.
And they realize in that moment that you're the one that helped them lift that weight off.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like I'm not doing good with my vocabulary today. You're kind of like the banging post or whatever that saying is,
Yeah.
Yep. Sounding board.
Whatever. You know how like your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your significant other, you're always the worst to them. Like they're the ones that help you the most in life, and you're just a jerk when you're in a bed. It's kind of like that, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Laura.
But then at the end of the day, you're like, I love you so much.
Right.
I don't know what I'd do without you, but I called you a dickhead. It's
yeah. 15
why?
minutes
Why did I
ago.
call you this? So that's what sellers do to me sometimes, and I just smile because I'm like, we're gonna get this done.
Definitely.
Exactly. That's just so, man, that's so much. So Terrell, you're going to focus on assignments and wholesaling then, I think you were saying?
For right now, yeah. And then eventually I'll work my way to flipping homes and everything. But for now, just strictly wholesaling. So
awesome. No, that's great. I know you'd reached out to me on Facebook, and I'd love, for us to sit down and talk even more,
definitely
afterwards, so definitely. But so how did you know Jerome?
Jerome, he actually reached out to me for the joint venture. And,
okay. So this is the one that's a joint venture?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So we talked for a minute, and he said, he got this deal for me. I was like, well, I got an investor that's buying in that area. So
nice. Well, good.
I just took off from there. So
that's fantastic, man. I hope it's a deal. I really do.
He
was all excited. He reached out to me. He was like, man, thank you so much for helping me, whatever. And I was like, I don't know what I did to help you, man. I just gave you a couple pointers here and there, but you did everything else yourself. You picked up the ball, you ran with it, you had a lead, you went with it.
Yeah.
Some people, especially new, and I think this will be his first deal too.
Yeah.
And so many people in that situation either freak out or they, they don't know, they don't ever make the offer.
Right.
One of the groups that I'm part of, a real estate group, posted out, what was the biggest thing that kept you? What was the biggest hurdle you had to overcome to do your first deal?
Yeah,
I thought it was a pretty interesting question. And so many people were posting things like, just the fear for asking for the sale, just the fear.
Yeah.
And mine was over analysis paralysis, but
I got you.
I knew what I was doing. I just wanted to make sure. Maybe one more book, maybe one more video, maybe one more, guru call, whatever. So those are. How about you, Laura? What was the biggest fear that got you, kept you from going over the hump?
Well, 100%. I was scared of letting a seller down because I felt inexperienced, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to put it. I mean, I had absolutely, it would keep me up at night thinking about an idea where if I put a contract on a house and couldn't execute. And I mean, even though my first deal, which I worked with Rich, and he absolutely did all the heavy lifting and we barely made anything and it wasn't worth it. It was worth it in the learning experience, but it took me a couple more deals before I even had to actually back out of anything for the first time. And when I finally had to do that and face my biggest fear at the time, that opened the floodgates because I survived. You know what I mean? And nobody came and tried to murder me in the night because I didn't sell their house. And, because I've always had this huge fear of letting people down. And the thing is, what I had to come to learn is that if you're doing your best, you're not really letting anybody down. We all make mistakes. We all misjudge. And the only way you can get really good at this is to get a lot of experience. So, I don't know. I really don't see that exact same problem in a lot of new wholesalers. I think that they kind of know that's part of it. Like, I think a lot of people out there are way more courageous in that front than I was. So
sure,
that was me. That's what held me back.
Yeah, no, that's a great point though. Yeah. And it says say a lot about you too. It's that you don't enter into a contract. Who cares? Who cares if you get it done? Right. Yeah. So, there are people out there that do that too. It's like, oh, well, I've got control and let's see if I get it sold. But I mean,
now I just feel like I've really honed it into, really what it all boils down to for me is I want to get in the middle of as many things as I can. However, there's a lot of competition. I'm working on one right now for a St. Charles lead. It's hot. We're already competing. We haven't even seen it. I'm seeing messages. And so it's like, well, I really want to take a shot at this. I can't get too ridiculous.
Right.
So how do I, get the contractual control without giving up the transparency, right? So it's always that balance of, if I'm coming out of my comfort zone on price, then I have to make sure I'm balancing that with communication to the seller about what I think is possible.
Right.
So like, hey, Mr. Seller, I see you're not going to budge. I still want a shot at helping you with this. So let's be as transparent as possible that my confidence level at your price is whatever, 50%, I wouldn't really do anything with a lower confidence level.
Sure.
So those are the types of like skills I've brought into helping myself personally with those issues, is just like, well, I know deals work if you work them, and I can't wait for the perfect deal. So I just gotta like do as much as I can while making sure I was honest and upfront the whole time if I wasn't confident. And I kind of got that all figured out.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Chris Monroe, what up? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
You're on mute, my friend.
Can't hear you, man.
Uh-oh. There he is.
This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Say Whoa, Chris Monroe. And we're right back at you with a Hootie's house buying show.
Right, that's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, we're talking to a first time wholesaler. Just a little bit ago, he dropped off. He actually sent me a message, said that his signal's bad, so it's coming in and out. But he's on.
I'm surprised mine working is good.
Is that right?
I'm out on the auction trail doing storage lockers today.
Oh, is that right?
You want to see one of the jewels I found?
Heck yeah, man. Always.
Wanna play?
Oh my gosh. Holy cow. That is crazy.
People go crazy for that stuff. I got a Facebook friend who just spends all kinds of freaking money on that kind of stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a Chucky doll, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
As I say, especially like you'll have that sold within a couple months for sure.
At least two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's somebody bought a locker for $5. I was like, what you doing with that Chucky doll?
Oh.
So I bought it. He just walked by, matter of fact.
Wow.
I bought it off the guy who bought the locker.
Is that right?
What'd you pay for the Chucky doll?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's worth more than $5, so we'll try it out.
Yeah.
You paid $5 for it?
Yeah, that's what he paid for the whole locker. I said, here's $5 for that Chucky. Boom, done.
Perfect.
Yeah, the rest of your locker's free.
Exactly. All you gotta do is clear all the rest of that junk out that nobody wants.
Right.
There was a bunch of people at the auction today too.
Are there?
Over 100 people.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
today's election day in Missouri too, right? Is it primary?
Yep. I didn't even get to vote yet.
No? That must be why nobody's showing up on the call today yet.
No, I didn't get the video. I mean, the link just went out.
That is so weird because I've sent it out through that Moose End service. So I may have to bury my pride hatchet and go back to MailChimp.
Get on back to MailChimp, stop playing, huh?
Right, I'm telling you. So
Especially when it's free, it makes it a little easier to deal with when something's free.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know who I can complain to on a free service.
No, you're right. Isn't that one of Gary V's thing? Everybody's talking about how YouTube and Facebook and all them complaining, oh, they changed their algorithm, whatever. It's free, dude. It's free.
Yeah, people talk about Facebook like it's their God-given right to have Facebook work exactly the way they want it to. It's like, yeah, just go away. Like, you don't have to be here.
True.
I was just telling somebody I know about that too, because they was like, oh yeah, I'll get the notification. They said they were going to watch my Monday night streams or whatever. So yeah, YouTube will notify me. I said, no, you need to get on our text list. You'll be notified automatically when we go live versus depending on YouTube, because that's not going to go through. Right. Or if they cut me off one day or whatever, then I have, you lose. You got to have a connection to people outside of these social media sites. Very important.
Right. No, you're right. Absolutely.
Or you'll be up a creek without a paddle.
Heck yeah. No doubt.
You're too dependent on these social media sites. They can cut you off tomorrow just because they don't like the way you look.
Right. So true. Man,
And
people
I'm
were
good on
freaking
that.
out earlier this week about TikTok, weren't they? People were freaking out.
Yeah,
Oh, they're taking me off of TikTok.
Did he cancel it yet or no?
No, Microsoft agreed to buy their U.S. Divestment. So
Oh,
they're in
wow.
talks. Yes, they're in talks with Microsoft to buy the rights to the U.S. content. So then and I don't know. I mean, maybe that was part of the plan to begin with, to get a U.S. company to buy the U.S. Content. But
They're staying woke.
yeah, so they're like, hey, let's. I guess they held off to see if that goes through or if it breaks down. But yeah,
That's right. Stay woke. Around that group.
That's right. That's right. So I had.
Nothing wrong with it.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my other background here, Chris. I was doing the advertising here. You know,
Getting your ad on, huh?
got the August 11th, 6 p.m. simulcast with Chris Monroe, and the August 25th one as well, right there.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you're gonna have a good show, a good stream there.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna have some good stuff to talk with somebody. Once that Chris Monroe guy gets on and blasts it onto his platform, then we know it's good.
And the people come out the woodworks, huh? Wake them up.
They do. They do. They ask some good questions too. Who's walking down the street? Is somebody going to the auction?
That's people going to auction. That's what I'm finna do. All the people are already in line. That's why I'm finna so you can see it. All of them going to the auction. That's where I'm on my way up to next.
That's where you're heading.
They're parked all back here. There's people all behind me parked, but the auction, this the facility right here, but
Where's
you
that
can't
at?
really park. We're out in St. Charles right now.
Okay. That is an A1, is it?
I have no clue what the name. I think it's
Okay.
called Ample Store or something.
Oh, okay.
This
My
is
brother
a new
manages one.
facility.
Okay.
A new facility, but it don't mean nothing.
My
Hopefully,
brother-
get some old stuff in the new facility.
Okay. Yeah, my
But
brother
this is the
manages
first,
one at
this is the
A1.
first auction for this company since the pandemic. So
Oh, okay. Maybe you'll see, guys like Dave Hester there and, Daryl Sheets.
I
don't want nothing to
freaking love those shows. I
I
don't
do
watch them
too.
nowadays, but God, I used to watch those all the time.
They've been playing
I'm
them.
the St.
on
Louis
A&E
Dave
a lot.
Hester. I run up everybody.
Oh, look at you. You just yell out woke instead of yup.
No.
Woke.
They'll be like, huh? Let me get my other phone. How many phones you got? A lot. Let me kill that. And go.
You are. Look at you. You're all protected. You got your face shield. Man,
That's right. You gotta be ready.
you do. Yeah, it's awesome, man. That's fantastic.
That's right.
You got. You probably got. Obviously, you got your hat on. Just like I would not go anywhere without, in public without my We Want Home shirt. So that's a great place to do that kind of marketing, Chris. Yeah.
All right, so I just want to hop in and say hello to everybody. I'm going into the auction now.
All right, buddy. Hey, good
All
luck.
right, see you.
Take it easy.
All right.
See you later, buddy. So join Chris Monroe and myself in a simulcast on August 11th at 6 p.m. Central Time. That is Central Time. But are you going to be able to make that one, Laura? I'm holding you to it. That's a week away. No, I'm just kidding.
I have closings that day, but I should be able to make it. I was gonna say August 11th. That's something in my mind, but
Make sure you show up, and all I want to see you do is like just take all your cash and just drop it. And oh wow, look at
already
you!
on there. Closing.
That's awesome.
Hootie's.
Sweet, thanks. That's awesome. Goodness, man, I can't believe people didn't see my.
It wasn't just me being ignorant.
No, it wasn't.
It's your fault.
I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna go back to. What happened was over the weekend. I think I just created a spot for every day. So in 4 days, in 3 days, in 2 days, tomorrow, whatever. And I was like, well, I'll post those every day, and it'll trickle through. I got to make sure the email goes out to the faithful.
Mm,
That's for sure.
yeah.
think quite a few people sign up and register because I get, when people go to that website, like, I mean, when people go to a landing page and they enter their information, I've got it set up so that it immediately texts me, and I was blasted with a bunch of texts. So, yeah, interesting. It happens. I mean, it happens. I get, my regular 9-to-5 job. I'm a trainer, and when I have people sign up for my webinars, I mean, like today, I actually did one and had folks sign up, like 12 people signed up for it, and only 6 show up. So it's like, well, things happen. People get busy. Life happens.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what are you hoping to do this month, Laura? What are your goals? How many deals you want to get done for August?
Well,
Or do you have different kinds of goals? I shouldn't have necessarily said that should be your goal.
oh no, that's my main goal. That kind of stuff. That's where I focus. Right now I've got properties 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where I've got everything tied up front to back. Some of those are 2 properties in 1 deal.
Okay. Sweet.
So get all those things freaking closed.
Heck yeah,
You're
sweet.
supposed to. I don't have any issues yet. And then I had set a goal at the beginning of July to make X amount of dollars by the end of August, and I've got it on paper. I just have to get it closed.
Yep.
So that was a big deal. So now I've got my new goal for the end by what I want to do on top of that by the end of September. So I'm focused on getting those deals.
Sweet.
So I don't know how many. I want that to be far less closings and far bigger spreads. That's what I'm really trying to do more of.
Sure.
But I don't have it yet. I don't have it figured out yet. So, just got to work it.
Right.
And it's one of those things where it's like, as long as you just keep trying, stuff will fall in your lap, like as long as you just keep putting that intention out there, it'll come. So,
right.
But yeah, I'm very happy. It was, very happy for what I've done this summer, and I just want to keep it going while growing and expanding what I'm doing and adding people to the team, investing, stuff like that, and investing into my business.
Absolutely. Heck yeah, you got to.
So yeah, if I can reach my September goal with 1 deal, I'll be happy. In fact, that would probably make me happier than reaching the same goal with 4 deals. I'll take either.
Right.
I'll take either.
Right.
But I'd love it if I got my spreads up more. And yeah, but anyway, whatever way I skin the cat.
Yeah.
So.
True, but yeah, it is better to get there with fewer deals, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Like
I put an offer in on a deal I looked at 2 days ago, put the offer in yesterday, and it was the people where the son didn't treat the house well. And I'm pretty confident in my offer, and they didn't, and I was so excited because okay, so this is a rule of thumb that a lot of people won't operate under. I went there without them giving me an idea of what they want out of the house. I went and looked at it, I asked them more than once, what do you want for the house? They just want offers.
Right.
Most people won't go out on that, and I don't blame them. And it's because I have several buyers lined up for this specific area. I just decided to go out and do it. I know the area, it's Granite. Okay. And I just know that if I can get it, I got a buyer.
Sure.
Anyway, so I went out there and they still were poker faced the whole appointment, which just drives me crazy.
Dang.
And because I'm mostly mad at myself. Because what if I'm wasting my time? Okay. And anyway, I made the offer and I just kind of sent it. I tell them ahead of time I'm sending it via email because I write out all this stuff. And,
sure.
And they responded right away, which usually is kind of like a get out of here. But I saw the email pop up and I look and he's like, thank you for the quick response. We're going to review this and get back to you quickly. So I'm like, yes.
Nice.
That sounds like a probably to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I mean, the offer number is right there. They don't have to dig, and then all my explanation is what they can dig through if they want.
Sure.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Anyway,
yeah. And I'm looking at one later today. This will be a second look. I looked at it last year.
Okay.
I think their motivation has gone up quite a bit, but they said they've done work to the property. So,
okay.
Anyway, it's just all it's close. Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's awesome.
What are your goals? What are you looking at doing?
I'm hoping to convert. I just launched, a few different direct mails, and I hope at least one of those convert. No, but I've got
me too.
few going right. Yeah, no doubt. at least to make the rest of them free, enough, at least make enough on the first deal to make the rest of the mailings on the six, how many times I'm sending out free. But yeah, and then I really want to, I've been working, like trying to figure out which system's going to work best for me on my rebirth in 2020 here, as far as what system, trying to work smarter, not harder, and what's gonna work. So I'm gonna reach out to Drop and see if I can get the text messaging going, because I really want to do that instead of just the voice drop, the ringless voicemails.
Yeah.
But
cool.
yeah, I'm pulling up some old leads as well, going through those, and yeah, hoping those all convert as well. Which I'm confident they're gonna work. Especially like the list you and I are working on. It's been a successful list for me in the past. So there's no way in the world we don't get a few deals on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about those penny mailers. I bet you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of good stories out of those mailers.
Yeah, I think so. I might need to jot them down. So maybe I'll write a book.
Yeah.
Adventures on the real estate investor mailings.
Yeah. The book can be like my 2 cents.
Right. Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dang, now I gotta give you some royalty for coming up with that name.
Yeah, and it's documented. We're on YouTube right now, right?
Right. Exactly. That's right. But yeah. So shoot, what time is it? Oh, dang! It's only 1:45.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where everybody's at. I'm tired of talking to me. I'm sure if people are listening.
Yeah, I hope.
Can we monitor if anybody's even watching?
Let me see. I wonder if I pull up YouTube, if it'll tell me if it says one watching now. I don't think it tells me who. It says one watching now. It might be me. It might be me because it's a live. It's probably me. Good Lord, man.
Either way, it's all good. I always enjoy talking with you, Rich. That's for sure.
Well, I enjoy the same with you, Laura.
Yeah.
I just hate to waste your time.
You're not wasting my time. I probably won't stay on till 1. Actually, I might just jump off at 1 because at 1:15 I need to leave.
Yeah, sure.
So
I understand that.
Yeah, I'm getting some messages. It's sort of time sensitive. We're trying to get this. We got a lead in St. Charles.
Okay.
We're competing supposedly with other people. We haven't seen it, but I have some pictures, that type of thing. The guy's motivated. So I have a creative idea, so I'm communicating that to my partner.
Okay.
My ideas and who I think would do this creatively with us for like a finder's fee.
Sure.
So because I believe people are probably looking at the house right now, other people, I'm just trying to.
Sure. Yeah, I was dealing with an out-of-state wholesaler earlier this week. Actually, it was yesterday. She reached out and said, and you probably got it too. They have a deal on a property in North County, and I was like, okay, well, tell me more about it. Give me the address. And I pull it up. I'm like, well, what does it need done? Don't give me a number. Tell me what things need done so I can run my own numbers. So they told me everything, new roof. It doesn't have an HVAC at all. The kitchen's mostly gutted, but there's cabinets there. Bathroom's gutted. It's 2 bath and a half. And they're both gutted, I guess, and needs plumbing. But I said, okay, well, what are you asking? And what she was asking was the 70% of the ARV. I'm like, you took absolutely no consideration of the repair costs at all.
Right.
So I don't know if she thought she thought the ARV again. I'm not trying to bash the out of state.
No, yeah, I know.
Part of that is not knowing an area and realizing that this is not, my comps can't come from Ladue when I'm doing a comp in Bellefontaine Neighbors or whatever. No knock on that. It's just obviously values are different.
Yeah, I learned a lot from making those mistakes, and when people would honestly tell me.
Yep.
I mean, it stung at the time, but now I'm really glad for it,
Yeah.
So if I ever have to sort of get that way, give the bad news to somebody, I just try to remind myself, like, I needed it at one point.
Yep,
I don't think I ever sent something out with no, well, somebody would tell you I sent something out with no repair. There's somebody that's got that opinion about something. I've messed some numbers up royally. So.
Sure. And that's the hardest. That's the hardest thing. And when you're starting out is, okay, even if you did the research to, you knew how much, 60 linear feet of cabinets would cost. You may not know the cost of labor to have them installed, right, or whatever.
Right.
So you may be dead on all the materials. Yeah, it's going to cost $15,000 in materials, but not be so good on the labor costs. So unless you're working with a contractor or you get somebody in here to do that,
Yeah.
you don't learn those things. But eventually you do. But yeah, I didn't blow her up or mean to her or anything at all. I just let her know, hey, good luck to you. Honestly, I think you're off on the numbers. I'm looking at, that number you're asking is before any repair costs are taken into consideration. But
Yeah.
maybe find somebody that can get the deal done for you.
Yeah. At least she's taking action. That's the most important thing.
1,000%.
I mean, at least she's bringing, I assume it was under contract. At least she's bringing you something that was already under, you know how many times I've evaluated something and I'm like, wait a second, this is under contract, right? And then they're like, well, like I just spent time on something that we can't really do anything with this thing right now,
True. And that was my first initial thought, because she reached out and said, hey, wondered if you're interested in a property in St. Louis on Stivers Street.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested, I'll send photos. I'm like, you do have it. My initial response was, yeah, I'm always interested in hearing more, but first can you give me the address? And then I said, you do have it under contract, right? That was my first question to her. It's like, it's how many times? So you interested? I can't give you the full address because I don't quite have it wrapped up yet. I don't have it under contract.
Right, yeah.
So, and maybe I've done that in the past or something too, but.
Yeah, I did it a few times and I got eaten alive and I stopped.
Yep.
So, I mean, nobody was horrible to me, but I remember one time Ray Bartle, I was new. I was, I didn't even hardly know Ray. He just was up front at SSIC. So I think he gave me his card, I had his email. And I sent him something and he immediately replied, do you have it under contract? And I said something like, no, not yet, but da 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 da. And the minute I sent it, he responded immediately. He just had all caps and he goes, get it under contract, exclamation. I mean, he was I could just hear his voice. Get it under contract. Quit wasting my time. I'll never forget that. And it stung. I was embarrassed.
Sure.
And I never did it again. So,
right. True.
Yep. Yeah.
Sometimes we need that tough love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now that's a great point. I wonder what Ray's up to these days. Is he still investing? Do you know?
I get emails for properties. He's wholesaling, I assume.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know anything else.
Yeah. No. I was just no.
Yeah.
And
I think he
that up here
does stuff with SSIC still, but
yeah.
I don't go there, so I don't know. I think I need to go back to one just to see what they're doing.
Yeah, me too. I do. I'd like to at least go to one and see how it's shaped up and stuff. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Dang.
You know what I haven't done for a while?
What's that?
And I was talking to somebody. Oh, I was talking to Keith Winkler.
Okay.
About some lead. We're brainstorming how to work it. Motivated seller numbers don't work, but maybe they could work. Maybe if. And I just said, put it on an option contract. Okay. And then I used to do that all the time.
Yep.
Because I guess it alleviated my little fear of not performing.
Gotcha. Yep.
And I did so many deals that way, and I haven't done that for a long time.
Is that right?
Even though I consider the contract I use now, it's just like an option because it's got the inspection period. You got the outs.
It's got your outs. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know, but anyway.
Is your existing contract? Your purchase and sale agreement? Is it 1 page, 2 page, 3? I mean, multiple page, 1 page?
1 page. Yeah, 1 page. I keep it super simple.
Yeah, I do too. Mine's 2 pages, and then it's got a separate signature page, which is technically the 3rd page. Mm-hmm. Just because I want to spell, I do want to spell out things that I want to make sure in the agreement.
Yeah.
But I don't go nearly as detailed as say a realtor agreement or whatever. Yeah, I don't do that.
I'm doing a deal. I'm just doing a finder's fee, just marrying 2 people up. There's not a lot of meat on the bone, but I knew I could do something with it. And the people are investors I've known for a long time. Like they live in Glen Carbon, they invest in Madison County. And they are very detail oriented. They're very, very smart. They're very good at what they do, but it's not my style with a seller, especially a stressed out seller, is simplicity.
Yeah.
As much as I can, you know.
Right.
Anyway, we ended up using their contract just because I knew that's what they wanted, the buyers, and I was just getting a finder's fee. Anyway, all these issues come out of this dang contract, you know. I mean, and I know the buyer's intent. I know the buyers are not, I know they're not going to try to squirrel out of anything unless there's no clear title. And even then it's not squirreling out, you shouldn't close. So, you know, I know that, but I mean, the seller doesn't know. And you've got all these paragraphs protecting you from what? You're buying the property, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like you're causing all these heartaches, and now they've got a lawyer reviewing it. And it's just like, guys, but I really had no voice in it because, again, I was just getting it. I knew, you know, if I wanted that much control over it, I just need to put it under contract and assign it or find somebody else. But it's just kind of like, do we need a paragraph about, oh man, there's so many, it's just like a realtor contract, but it wasn't, you know?
Right.
I'm
Right.
just like, yeah. They had every scenario in there, even though they only just buy as is.
Right.
Like, why? Why are we?
Yep.
Is this just to show everybody, the whole world, that you could do all these other types of transactions? Because, like, who cares?
Right. True.
Like, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I've done like contract for deeds and stuff like that this year, and those are much longer. And I use like a Rocket Lawyer template and adjust it for what's needed. So those get way more in depth, but they need to be.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I like the top half of my first page is all contact information. It's like, here's the seller's contact information, the buyer's contact information, and then obviously the things like the parcel number and the legal description and all of that stuff, just to make, in the address, you know, so it's right up there for the title company. I try to make it easier for the title company. All that stuff's right there in the front. But I mean, then again, it's like, well, they're not cutting me a break on my price because I make it easier on them. Maybe I should cut that part out and just simplify it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want things to be smooth. I don't want it to be, we can't close because we can't get a hold of the buyer. We don't have their, you know, their email address or whatever.
I spend as much time on those emails to the title company with all the information. Here's the structure of the deal. I spend as much time on those as I do viewing the house. I'm probably in the house for 30 minutes, maybe average talk. You know, I probably spend 20 minutes on the darn email. But yeah, it's like I want the title company to think of me as user friendly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
when they get an email from me, I want them to look forward to opening it.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, that guy again. You know, because one of the title companies I work with, we know a couple other investors that they're like, oh man, we hate that person. They're always pushing us to move their stuff to the top of the list. They're always wanting us to cut them a break on our fees. They're always wanting us to push it, you know, to close tomorrow. You know, we hate opening emails from them. Granted, we're glad to get the business, but if they would just be a little less demanding. Yeah, and user friendly, exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean, like there are times I have to ask for stuff. I've had people refuse to sign something because of the word borrower was on the statement. They're like, I'm not borrowing anything and I will not close on this. But, you know, so then they like went in and like PDF magicked it or something. I don't know what they do, but it's kind of like, that's time consuming. It's a pain, you know, so, but I mean, things like that, that's just one itty bitty example. They've done things for me, and it's not for me, it's for the people on the transaction. But
sure.
The best money I feel like I spend, I'm so proud of that I do this because I think it really pays off. I give my closing coordinator at my title company a $25 gift card to something every single time.
Great idea.
Every single time. She closes 2 in a week for me. She gets Quick Trip and Schnucks, or you know, I got her like a famous pizza restaurant around. Well, I don't know if you know Roma's. I got her Roma's one time. $25, you know, whether I made 1,000 or 8,000 or 10,000 or whatever. And it's just like, I want you to like me because some of these are a little messy. Yep.
True.
Yeah.
You're right. You need to hop off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna get going. I gotta let this dog out and get on the road in 15 minutes. So
Yeah. Well, good. Let Jasmine do her thing so she doesn't, mess up your house.
whoo, we have hardwood, so we have not been burned yet.
Ooh,
It's because we catch it.
sure.
She is just a puppy.
Yep.
And we have buttons. She pushes a button to tell us when to go out, except
Really?
she
That's
doesn't
awesome.
really. Some days it's like we did it, we got her, she gets it, and then for 3 days she won't do it.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I don't want to talk bad about her. She's right here.
Right. Yeah. She'll hear it. She'll like, oh yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, she's sleeping, but I know she's probably listening.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. That's too funny.
Yeah.
Well, I
All
really
right.
do
Well,
wish you
thank
luck.
you.
You're welcome. Wish you luck, and hopefully your phone starts ringing off the hook like serious here in a day or two.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Belleville. I can move them in Belleville. I'm telling
Yes,
you.
and I'll let you know. I mean, I'm gonna be following up with our that other one we talked about today because she wanted time to think about it. So I'm gonna, matter of fact, I'm just gonna shoot her the option and say, here's the option contract we talked about. Either sign it or don't. You know?
Yeah.
And I may have to say, hey, I may hand it over to you and just say, here, you deal with her.
I was gonna say we need to just think about tag teaming.
Yeah.
And I can go in cold.
Yep.
Sort of, but
Yep.
whatever. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
I know it's like those things. It's like you got to give them time.
Yeah.
You got to let them feel like they have the ball in their court,
Right.
which they do, by the way. But you want them to also feel like they do.
Yeah, it's like, look, it's just sitting there. You got to mow the grass every week or twice a week or whatever, and it's just sitting there and it's empty and it's vacant, and people around know it's empty and vacant.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that we'll give it a shot.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. All right, Rich. I'll talk to you later.
You do think it's something that your people might be interested in?
Am I still on?
All right. Yeah, you are.
I look frozen. Okay.
You are frozen, but I can hear you.
Great. I love the expression. Oh, there, I'm back. I was gonna say I love where it froze at. Thanks a lot. Zoom.
No.
I think it's maybe it might be borderline on that street.
Yeah. And that's and she's already, I think, coming with 5,000 cash at that price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. I don't know. I have a couple. I have cash buyers, but then I've got a very creative guy that takes stuff in granite, and we have a really good system working on how we do that.
Okay.
So there might be two options for her, but we got to just look at it and know that she's bought into selling.
Sure.
So yeah, but it's just sitting there. Time is our best friend on it. Honestly,
Right.
I'm impatient, but I know time is what'll get it done.
True. All righty.
Awesome.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thanks.
Talk to you
See you,
later.
Laura.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck.
Okay. Thanks. You too.
Sure thing. So that was Laura Lennington, one of the folks here in St. Louis that I work with and partner up on and do deals with. So this I'm going to stay on like I always advertise. We're 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Central Time, and we usually have quite a few more folks on today. So that's my fault for how I marketed, I guess, this the simulcast, or not the simulcast, our regular monthly Hootie's House Buyers Club meeting. And there's other things going on in Missouri. I know it's election day and it's a beautiful day outside. Like people might be out and about. So hopefully they are. Hopefully if you're a real estate investor, you're getting some kind of a deal done today, not going out and looking at properties. You're going out to put properties under contract, because that's what it is. You got to make sure you're telling people, I don't come out to see a house. I come out to buy a house. So just remember when folks are telling you, hey, well, just come out and see it and see what you think. Just let them know, politely, obviously, but that you don't come out to see houses, you come out to buy houses. So get as much information, as much detail as you can about a house up front, and don't waste your time chasing houses that the numbers do not line up, that you want them to so badly, that you hope they do, that maybe if you go see it in person, it makes sense. That's so far and few between. It's most of the time it's wasting your time, and you could be doing other things like looking for more deals and searching for other deals. Driving for dollars would be less of a waste of time than going to see a house that the numbers don't match or line up. So that's me on my soapbox. trying to fill some time here, kill some time, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so it's like, oh, we'll be taking calls. Caller, are you on the air? You're on the air. No, let me check to see if we have anybody mentioning anything on the Facebook group or anything. All right, trying to. So I'm just sitting here. I know it's killing dead air space. I don't mean to do that, folks. Maybe from now on, I'll ask people to send me questions, what they'd like me to post here on these videos, so that if we do have any time like this where I can start talking about something like answering questions or giving my thoughts on a topic. Yeah, the one thing I would say is just make sure you think outside the box. You know, that's one thing about real estate investing, and part of the reason that we are an option outside of a traditional MLS listing, or if you're not familiar with that phrase, we're different than working with the real estate agents and folks that are listing properties on the retail side. When you're in the investing phase, now if you're a rehabber and you buy at a certain spot and then you rehab it and then you sell at the retail price. But if you are an assigner or wholesaler, or if you're a landlord, you're usually trying to buy below market value, right? Significantly discount properties. I have no idea where I was going with this. No, but you know, we are, you know, I think the last numbers I saw is that's 4% of the market. Only 4 out of 100 houses for sale are for sale in creative strategies, using creative methods, whether that's using the traditional 70% of the ARV minus repair costs minus your assignment fee, or if that is or if that's structuring a bond for deed or contract for deed or a lease option or any of the numerous other more creative ways to buy real estate. That's only 4% of the housing out there, available housing out there. And a lot of those are housing that's available that nobody knows about, right? Because once they've hit the MLS, once they're listed with an agent, everybody knows about them. So the ones that are creatively structured or open to creative structuring, they're gone immediately, pretty much by savvy investors who have systems in place to let them know when that kind of a house hits the market, and they can reach out to their agent, or that their agent on their team, if they're not an agent already, the agent on their team knows about it right before it hits the MLS or right as it hits the MLS, and lets them know so that they can make a move on the property. So 4%. That's it. 4 out of 100 houses that are available for sale are in a real estate investor's wheelhouse. That's it. So we're not a competition to real estate agents, brokers, because our targets are usually different. Our sellers have issues. Our sellers have problems that they need solved. Whereas usually somebody who puts a property on the market to sell doesn't, or if they do, they've got time on their side where they can wait for a property to be listed with an agent and sold after, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 180 days, however long that market is taking to sell. I'm really just filling time here, folks, I know, and I think I'm going to end the call a little early today since we don't have anybody else showing up, it looks like. If you tried to join us, send me a message, leave me a comment here on the YouTube channel. If you didn't see me on the YouTube channel, you're watching me on the Facebook group, the Hootie's House Buyers Club group. Leave me a message there or send me a private message letting me know that you tried joining, but it was too late. That's great. But otherwise, my name is Rich Groves with Metro STL Homes. I host the Hootie's House Buyers Club monthly meeting on the first Tuesday of every month. And we host also simulcasts with Chris Monroe of the Chris Monroe Show every 2 Tuesdays. So every other Tuesday, August 11th, August 25th of the next 2. And we do those at 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you're interested in talking with a big group of folks who can share their experiences, and whether you have a property under contract and you want to offer that to the group, because you never know when there might be somebody in the call that is a buyer and wants to buy that, or if you've never done a deal and you have questions about how to get that done, or you've got something under contract and you have questions, or whatever it might be. That's what we at the Hootie's House Buyers Club are all about. And also when we do the simulcast with Chris Monroe, it's about adding value to the real estate investing market, adding value. We really believe in that. We believe that you should add value to the market, add value to your group, add value to your industry before you ever ask for a penny from somebody else to work with you. So with that being said, I'll sign off. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.